How does a guy go from hunting bloodthirsty demons for money
Hey look! The Three Stooges came out to play!
to becoming an actual demon himself?
I think this is a devil trigger.
Talk about irony. Today, I'll be covering the entire story of Devil May Cry so far. In case you didn't know, Devil May Cry is a Netflix animated series based on the popular Japanese video game franchise of the same name. Released in 2025, it follows the story of Dante, a freelance demon hunter who tries to foil a demonic invasion of Earth. But that's really the basic stuff, so without yapping too much, let's dive right in. The first episode begins with a violent attack on the Vatican, led by a demonic terrorist known as the White Rabbit. He infiltrates the Vatican City Museum to steal the Force Edge. This is a powerful sword once wielded by the legendary demon from Hell, Sparda. Long ago, Sparda betrayed his own kind to protect humanity, sealing off the demon world from Earth with a magical barrier. Yeah, that's a hero in my book. After securing the legendary sword, the White Rabbit turns on his own men, killing them before blowing up the building. As chaos erupts, he declares that his ultimate goal is to destroy the barrier between Hell and Earth, and bring about an apocalypse. However, to do that, he needs to find a specific demon hunter. In response to the attack on the Vatican City Museum, the US government meets with Dr. Fisher, a scientist from Dark Realm Command, or DARKCOM. We learn that DARKCOM is an organization that deals with interdimensional threats and is backed by Vice President Baines. Together, they begin piecing together the White Rabbit's grand plan. During an interrogation of information broker Enzo Ferrino, they learn a crucial detail. Sparda's magical barrier cannot be destroyed without a magical amulet he once owned. In order to keep it safe, Sparda split the amulet into two halves. Enzo further reveals that the White Rabbit is searching for a demon hunter named Dante, leading Baines and Fisher to realize that Dante must possess half of the amulet. Meanwhile, Dante is already under attack. He faces off against a demon called Plasma, a shapeshifter sent to steal his piece of the amulet. Plasma tries to manipulate him by taking on disturbing forms, including that of a helpless baby and even Dante's deceased twin brother, Vergil.
We have much to catch up on, brother.
No. But the attempt fails, and Dante manages to hold onto the amulet. Maybe try not to wear such a shiny object around your neck, man. In episode 2, Vice President Baines wastes no time responding to the crisis. He hires a group of mercenaries to track down Dante and retrieve the amulet. Overseeing the operation is an elite DARKCOM unit led by Marianne Arkham. During the battle, Mary quickly realizes that one of the hired mercenaries is actually a demon in disguise and kills it on the spot. Yeah, this lady ain't playing with any hidden threats. The only known survivor of the White Rabbit's earlier attack, Anders, is also brought onto the team. To lure Dante out, Baines forces Enzo to act as bait. You see, Enzo is the guy who keeps giving Dante different demon hunting jobs. But Dante immediately sees through the setup and refuses to hand over the amulet, explaining that it was a gift from his mother and not something he'll give up easily. When the mercenaries move in, Dante makes quick work of them, effortlessly cutting through them without even killing them. Looks like Dante doesn't want any blood on his hands.
You wouldn't happen to know why my family heirloom is suddenly New York's hottest fashion accessory?
The situation escalates when Mary steps in to face Dante. Their fight is more evenly matched, and during their exchange, she suggests that Dante might be a human-demon hybrid. This is because his body doesn't react to the demon-killing bullet, which proves he's not a full demon. and his body can regenerate, which proves he's not a full human. Dante brushes off the idea, clearly uninterested in her theories. Mary, however, presses further, mocking him for not understanding who or what he really is, or the true purpose of the amulet he carries. Using advanced Darkcom tech, she eventually manages to overpower and restrain him. She even injects him with a bomb that'll detonate whenever he goes beyond a certain distance. With Dante finally captured, Darkcom prepares to transport him back to their headquarters for interrogation. In the next episode, the story briefly flashes back to Mary's childhood. She and her parents narrowly survive a brutal demon attack, but the aftermath is just as damaging. Her father, John Arkham, tries to warn authorities about what happened, only to be dismissed as delusional. As a result, he's ostracized, and the experience leaves a lasting mark on Mary. Back in the present, Dr. Fisher studies Dante's amulet, hoping to unlock its secrets. Meanwhile, Vice President Baines confronts Dante directly. He claims Dante must prove his loyalty by working for the government, promising that doing so will allow God to cleanse him of his demonic blood. But Dante ain't really a big fan of the feds, and he insists that his abilities, healing and reflexes, are just the result of a rare mutation, not anything supernatural. Yeah, keep telling that to yourself, buddy. Before anything can be resolved, the situation spirals out of control. The prison convoy transporting Dante is suddenly ambushed by the White Rabbit and a group of demons. Turns out, Anders has been helping him out, albeit under duress.
No, what are you doing?
I had to! He got to my daughters.
And now he's going to destroy the whole world!
And just like that, the rabbit successfully retrieves the second half of Sparta's amulet and immediately fuses the two pieces together. But instead of carrying out his grand plan immediately, he hesitates. This catches Dr. Fisher's attention. He realizes that the rabbit is still missing a crucial piece of the puzzle. That peaceful moment doesn't last very long though. The White Rabbit kills Dr. Fisher, severely injures Anders so nobody knows he's a mole, and then he kidnaps Enzo. Dante manages to break free and gives chase on a motorbike, but the pursuit nearly ends in disaster when that Darkcom bomb implanted in his neck detonates, leaving him badly injured. During the encounter, the White Rabbit drops a truly shocking revelation. He calls Dante the son of Sparta, tying him directly to the legendary demon. I mean, come on, we all saw that coming from a mile away. Elsewhere, the shape-shifting demon Plasma continues its infiltration, this time taking the form of a Darkcom agent, quietly setting up its next move. In episode 4, an unconscious Dante has a vision from his childhood. He and his brother Vergil each got one of the two magical amulets from their mother. Then, the scene changes back to the present. Dante and Enzo wake up to find themselves prisoners aboard a hijacked plane belonging to the vice president. Even the vice president and his aides are also being held captive on the plane by the White Rabbit's minions. With everything falling apart around him, Baines remains eerily calm, convinced that God has a greater purpose for him and he won't die here. The two demon brothers holding everyone captive on the plane then play a video recording of the White Rabbit. The rabbit says that the plane has been rigged with explosives, and that upon the impending explosion, Dante is going to activate his devil trigger and save everyone. Of course, Dante's got no idea what he's talking about. Meanwhile, the White Rabbit sets a trap for Darkcom. When their agents arrive at his hideout, they're ambushed by powerful demons, including Cavaliere, who tears through them with brutal efficiency. Mary is left as the sole survivor. Shaken and alone, Mary begins to hallucinate, seeing visions of her father and her fallen teammates. Despite the trauma, she manages to stay alive, narrowly escaping Cavaliere with the unexpected help of a family hiding in the building. But when she realizes they're actually demons, she instinctively turns her weapon on them. Instead of attacking, however, the family explains that they fled hell, or Makai, alongside the White Rabbit, hoping to find safety. But they only ended up as his captives. This moment forces Mary to question everything she's believed about demons. For the first time, she sees that not all of them are monsters. Choosing compassion over instinct, she lowers her gun, spares them, and continues her mission to recover the amulet. Back on the plane, Dante is forced into battle against the two demon siblings. During the fight, memories of Dante's childhood begin to surface, triggering something deeper within him. Tapping into his true power, Dante's right hand transforms into something demonic, and he overwhelms his opponents, killing one of the demons. The other demon, enraged by his brother's death, retaliates in fury by detonating the plane in a violent explosion. The explosion sends everyone in the plane flying off like skydivers, but definitely not the fun kind. In the next episode, Mary continues navigating the White Rabbit's hideout while staying one step ahead of the demons hunting her. During her search, she discovers a horrifying laboratory where the White Rabbit has been performing brutal experiments on captured demons, treating them like disposable test subjects. Inside the facility, Mary reunites with one of her fellow Darkcom agents, relieved to find another survivor. But something feels off. When the agent casually refers to Hell by its true demon name, Makai, she immediately realizes he's an imposter. The agent is actually Plasma in disguise. Before she can react though, Plasma overpowers her. Meanwhile, Dante finally turns into a full-fledged demon with wings. He successfully rescues the falling civilians and engages the demon from the plane in battle. Back at the hideout, Mary offers Plasma some valuable information about Darkcom in exchange for sparing her life. Their tense standoff is suddenly interrupted when a plant-like demon attacks them. In the confusion, the demon mistakenly strikes Plasma instead, giving Mary the opening she needs. Using specialized demon-killing bullets, she finally manages to kill the plant-like demon. Afterward, Mary makes a powerful declaration. She promises that she will protect the demon refugees trapped in the facility.
I'm alive because those demons helped me. I owe them this.
But Vice President Baines gives the Darkcom troops a different order. He wants a complete extermination of the demon refugees. Oh, damn. The VP believes the only good demon is a dead one. Elsewhere, Dante's battle with the plane demon continues, eventually leading them straight into the White Rabbit's hideout. During the fight, Mary intervenes and kills the demon, finally ending the threat. Afterward, Dante admits that Mary was right all along. He truly is connected to the demon world and is the son of Sparta. With the truth finally out in the open, the two decide to work together. As they piece together the White Rabbit's plan, Mary realizes the final missing ingredient is Dante himself. The rabbit needs Dante's blood to activate the amulet and destroy the barrier between Hell and Earth. The White Rabbit then delivers a grim warning to Dante. If he refuses to cooperate, a massive demon army will invade and destroy the human world anyway. Not looking good. As the episode ends, the Darkcom troops execute the harmless demon refugees. Damn. If that's not a war crime, I don't know what is. Plasma witnesses this live on a screen. Horrified by what humanity is willing to do, Plasma chooses death over capture and destroys the hideout in a massive explosion. The destruction ends up killing Plasma and a bunch of Darkcom troops as well. Good job, Plasma. Feds had that one coming. The next episode dives deeper into the tragic pasts of both Mary and the White Rabbit, revealing how both were shaped by trauma and their encounters with demons. It's a rather unique episode because there's almost no dialogue. Mary's story begins in childhood. As a little girl, she spends her days playing with a friend while secretly witnessing the collapse of her family through the crack of her father's office door. Her father has become increasingly obsessed with demons and forbidden research. The deeper he sinks into his studies, the more unstable he becomes, straining his relationship with both Mary and her mother, Kalina. Kalina repeatedly begs John to stop before he destroys himself, but he refuses to listen. One night, the tension finally explodes. Mary overhears another heated argument between her parents, but this time, things turn violent. When Kalina tries to stop him, John shoves her aside and injects himself with demon blood, transforming into a monstrous creature before Mary's eyes. Terrified, Mary rushes to her injured mother, who tries to comfort her even in her final moments. But the transformed John suddenly grabs Kalina and kills her. Mary is thrown into a bookshelf as she helplessly watches her father devour her mother's body. Frozen in fear but desperate to survive, Mary grabs one of John's scalpels and attacks him. He swats her away, sending her crashing into his equipment and accidentally starting a fire. The flames quickly consume the entire house. As Mary escapes into the night, she catches one final glimpse of her father's burning face before disappearing into the flames. Years later, Mary channels that trauma into becoming a high-ranking officer in Darkcom, dedicating her life to hunting demons. She quickly rises through the ranks due to her skill and ruthlessness. During one mission, her team raids a suspicious warehouse connected to demon trafficking. After eliminating several demons, they notice strange green sparks forming near one of the walls. A portal suddenly opens, and a group of frightened demon refugees emerges alongside a young man guiding them. At first, Mary's team prepares to open fire, but Mary hesitates when she notices the young man looks completely human. He explains that the demons are refugees fleeing Makai, the demon world, and begs them to let the group go peacefully. Mary refuses to believe him. To her, demons are a threat no matter what form they take, and humanity can only be safe through their complete destruction. Now, before I continue, let's go through the White Rabbit's backstory for a moment. Long before becoming the White Rabbit, he was simply an orphaned boy obsessed with Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. He carried the book wherever he went, using it as an escape from his miserable life. After being placed with an abusive foster family, he endured constant bullying and neglect. One day, a portal to Makai unexpectedly opened nearby. Seeing it as his own trip down the rabbit hole, just like Alice from the book, the boy steps through. Inside Makai, he nearly dies from the toxic atmosphere and is chased by a giant demon before being rescued by a kind Makayan refugee. The demon takes him back to a hidden refugee camp where the boy finally experiences friendship and kindness for the first time. As he grows closer to the Makayans, he discovers a strange glowing gem with the power to open portals between worlds. But tragedy strikes when one of the younger refugees dies from Makai's poisonous air. At her funeral, the boy sacrifices his treasured copy of Alice in Wonderland as a goodbye. Determined to save the others from the same fate, he uses the gem to build a device capable of opening stable portals to Earth. As he grows older, he dedicates his life to helping Makayans escape the horrors of their world and find peace among humans. But during one escape attempt, everything goes horribly wrong. So now, we're back to Mary's encounter with the human leading the demon refugees into Earth. Before the young man can convince her about his intentions, a massive demon from Makai bursts through the still open portal and attacks the refugees, killing several of them. Absolute chaos erupts. Mary and her team open fire, slaughtering not only the attacking demon, but the refugees as well. The young man is badly wounded in the crossfire. Realizing the situation is spiraling out of control, Mary orders her team to retreat. She tears off her explosive belt, shoves it into the monster's mouth, and detonates it, destroying the warehouse and killing the remaining refugees in the blast. The wounded young man barely survives. As he crawls through the wreckage, he stares at the bodies of the Makaians he tried to save. That single event shatters him completely, and his grief slowly twists into broken laughter. Later, hiding alone in a rundown apartment, the broken survivor stitches together a hood made from rabbit dolls and puts on a suit. Abandoning his old identity, he transforms himself into the White Rabbit, embracing madness and deciding that if humanity and demons can never coexist, then he'll drag everyone down the rabbit hole together.
Now, we all go down the rabbit hole.
God damn, what a backstory! In episode 7, the White Rabbit enters Makai through a portal and meets with a mysterious horned demon. This is the same demon who previously provided him with Vergil's half of Sparda's amulet. This time, the demon gives him a vial containing Vergil's blood, bringing the rabbit one step closer to completing his plan. Meanwhile, Dante is planning to meet up with the White Rabbit, but Mary isn't about to let that happen. She knows the rabbit only wants Dante's blood. Determined to end things herself, she locks up Dante and confronts the rabbit alone. To stop him from obtaining Dante's blood, she threatens to burn Dante alive if necessary. The standoff quickly erupts into violence as Mary takes on the rabbit's demon forces by herself. At first, she holds her own, but the demons wield poison-coated weapons, and she's eventually paralyzed during the fight. Before the demons can finish her off, Dante breaks free and comes to her rescue. During the confrontation, the rabbit forces Dante to witness the horrifying reality of Makai, showing him the unbearable suffering demons endure there.
The scorched earth and air turn to poison.
He explains that everything he's done has been for survival, and that he's willing to sacrifice millions of humans if it means saving demonkind from extinction. Despite understanding this pain, Dante refuses to support genocide or destruction on that scale. Thank you. He rejects the rabbit's offer of an alliance and fights back, tearing through the demon army before facing Cavaliere in a brutal duel. As the battle reaches its climax, the White Rabbit finally removes his mask and reveals the truth to Mary. Her actions years ago, the massacre of the refugee demons, are what created him. He also reveals that he has survived all this time using an artificial heart that constantly pumps demon blood through his body to keep him alive. Dante ultimately decapitates Cavaliere by shutting down the Earth Makai portal and defeats the rabbit in battle with overwhelming speed. Even in defeat, the rabbit warns Dante that he could have stopped the catastrophe that is coming. Rather than taking the amulet with him, he leaves it behind for Dante before falling into the sea. Soon after, Enzo and Baines arrive and witness the aftermath of the battle. Instead of seeing the tragedy for what it is, Baines views it as the beginning of something greater, declaring that this fight marks the first battle in humanity's holy war against hell. Dude is an actual psycho. In the last episode, The White Rabbit, who's been badly wounded after his defeat, desperately consumes one of the few surviving demons. This causes his body to mutate into something far more monstrous. At the same time, Anders recovers the rabbit's portal device, while Vice President Baines angrily confronts Mary over her alliance with Dante. Before the conflict between them can escalate, the transformed rabbit fuses himself with the legendary Force Edge and launches a savage attack, slaughtering Bane's soldiers with overwhelming force. Dante and Mary are forced to fight side by side once again as the monstrous rabbit tears through everyone in its path. During the chaos, Enzo bravely steps out of hiding to help Dante. Tragically, the rabbit impales him during the battle. Enzo dies in Dante's arms, leaving Dante devastated and enraged.
I told ya, I would take a blade for you.
Damn, Enzo really became a hero in the end. Dante and the rabbit exchange clashes, with the bad guy having the advantage. The rabbit eventually seizes the amulet, which now has been fused with Vergil's half, and emerges it with Force Edge, transforming it into the legendary Sword of Sparta. As he drives the sword through Dante, he reveals one final shocking truth. Vergil, Dante's brother, is still alive. Wow. In all these years, he thought Vergil and his mom had been killed by demons. The rabbit then does his little ritual. The magical barrier separating Earth from Hell collapses, and the demons begin flooding into the human world. As chaos erupts everywhere, Mary realizes the rabbit's artificial heart is the source of his strength. She shoots the device, weakening him long enough for Dante to recover and strike back. Wielding the Sword of Sparta, Dante kills the rabbit and manages to restore the barrier between the two realms, finally ending the invasion. After the battle, Dante asks Mary to join him in searching for Vergil. Despite everything they've been through together, Mary still sees Dante as too dangerous to remain free. She subdues him and has him imprisoned. Yeesh, can't trust anyone these days. Meanwhile, Anders delivers the recovered portal device to Baines. Everyone now knows he was the rabbit's mole. Baines murders Anders and uses the device to begin launching humanity's own invasion of Hell. Sometime later, the story shifts to a high-security prison facility. A horned demon storms the prison, freeing its demon inmates in the name of Mundus, the ruler of Hell. The demon then reveals his true identity. Turns out, he is Vergil. And the episode ends on that goddamn cliffhanger. That's the entire story of Devil May Cry so far. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to watching Season 2. Feel free to click the link on screen to watch another one of my videos, and in the meantime, peace!